Welcome to Tobar's Realm. Today I think I'm going to make a more compact charcoal powered foundry. And what I think I'm going to do is I got a large pot from our kitchen that my wife let me steal. And what I think I'm going to do is make an inner chamber and then fill that outside with, I think I'm going to use Portland cement mixed with a little bit of sand. See how that works. I know I've seen it get spalling, but I'm going to have an inner metal liner. And then I will put a tube in here to run an air fan so it can blow in there. And then I just bought a crucible online, an actual crucible, not one that's just homemade. So I'm going to make it so it fits this one. I think this is six kilograms, I think. But that's my plan to start with. Also, what I think I'll do is I'm going to make a lid for it that I think I'm going to try to make it a little bit like concave on the inside, and then have a hole down the center of it. So I'm going to have to figure out what I'm going to do for that also. Well, here's the pot I'm starting out with. It's just a regular kind of cheap metal pot. And then I stopped by the dollar store and I just bought this little bucket. I think it was like $1.50. And then it looked like it might be about right, but it was a little bit too flared out at the top, so I got a little ahead of myself and started cutting before I started filming. I just made a couple of cuts where the seams were. I'm just going to suck up that extra, try and make it more vertical with the base. And then I'm just going to put little rivets to hold that. And then the cement mixture will go around the outside. Put that tube for the air. And then I want to get it so it has, I don't know, it'll probably end up being about 1.5 inches on the sides. And then build that cover for it with the hole in the middle. So I'm going to start riveting this to try to get it more of a cylinder shape. Alright, well, I got that inner part basically the way I want it. It's not pretty, but it'll be all covered up anyways. My long-term plan is I'm going to fill this up with the Portland cement and sand mixture. Just level it off with the top of this, and then I'm just going to cut that piece off and then make a lid that will sit over that. But what I need to do first is make the hole for the air to blow in. It's just a 1-inch steel pipe. I just put an adapter here so it'll fit for my hair dryer to just sit in there. So I need to work out where I'm going to cut the hole through these. I'm not sure. Do you think it'd be better to have the air blow in at an angle or just straight? I think an angle. But we'll see how it turns out. Alright, well, I just traced this pipe onto there, then drilled a hole, and then just used tin snips to kind of cut it. It's a little bit tight, but I'm just using a file to take down those edges, some of those sharp edges, and get it just right. And then I will line it up with the inner one and do the same thing to that. Alright, I got that hole done. It's pretty good, pretty snug. Now I'm just going to cut a hole in the bottom of this one so it'll fit it'll fit. It's kind of dark in there. It'll fit right into the lowest spot that it can, because there's going to be cement on the outside and this is where the charcoal is going to be, so I want the air to come in right at the bottom. So I'm just going to draw the circle of the pipe on there, drill a hole, and then cut it with those tin snips. Alright, well, I got the holes drilled through those, and I'd say that's pretty close to horizontal. I don't think it matters that much, but I kind of want to be able to pull it out of there. So I just put some black tape to kind of keep it from the cement from grabbing onto the threads. So I'm using Portland cement and sand, and I'm just going to use a 50-50 mix. I've seen 3-to-1 in both directions, so I think I'm just going to do 50-50, mix it up and get it in there and start doing it. Alright, I got the cement put in there and just got to wait, holding it down because it's wanting to float. Quite kind of messy, but I think that stuff will come right off, so I just gotta leave it alone. Alright, well, it's sat overnight and it's pretty much set now. I've noticed it's a little bit soft. I think a 1-to-1 mix of the Portland cement to sand was probably not the best choice. I think for the lid I'm going to try 3-to-1 sand to Portland cement mix and see what that does. If that doesn't work very well, I have some regular concrete I could use, and then maybe that'll work better. I don't know, but got kind of messy, but I figured this stuff comes off pretty easily. So what I'm going to do next is just cut this metal inside piece off even with the top, and then I'm going to make the cover for it. This is kind of stuck in there because some of that concrete mix is stuck on it, but I can get it out of there, I'm sure. So that's where I'm at next. Well, here's what I've come up with for the lid. It's basically just a bowl shape, and I just attached a chunk of soup can to put the hole through it. Just taped it on there so that I don't get a bunch of the cement mix adhering to the lid. So this will basically be the dimensions of it, and I'm just going to put it in the bottom of a bucket, fill it up with the cement up to the top of that soup can, and I'm also going to try to get these set in there so that they'll be embedded in it, so it'll give me a way to lift that lid off. So like I said, I'm gonna try doing 3-to-1 sand to Portland cement on this one, see how that goes. Alright, I got it setting now. Those weights are just holding that bowl down so it doesn't float. And then those eye bolts, I just hung them with a little piece of wire because they were kind of sinking and whatever, so I think those are holding them decently. So now I'll just leave it alone. I did spray a little bit of WD-40 in the bottom of the bucket, hoping that'll make it easier to detach, but I don't think it'll stick either way. Well, it's been 24 hours, so now I'm gonna see if I can get this out of here. Well, I got it out of there. I was hoping it would come out a little easier, and there are a couple of air bubbles, so that's kind of a bummer, but I'll let this dry for another week before I try it out. but on the camera it looks a lot taller than it is. It's only actually like 3 inches, and this is about 6 or 7. But that's where I'm at. We'll let this dry, and next weekend hopefully I'll have a chance to try it out. Well, I think I am ready to give this thing a try. It's been drying for about a week while I was out of town, so I think I'm just going to start off by starting some charcoal in the bottom just to get the coals going. And then once that's going, put the crucible in and start loading up the outside. Put the air to it. And then I think I can just drop aluminum cans in from above and see how it goes. Alright, I got it going with the charcoal in it with the hairdryer blowing. So just got the lid on it. We'll warm it up. Let's see what happens. I'm going to kind of stay away because if they're spalling, I don't want to be anywhere near it. Well, it's been running for a few minutes. It's definitely hot enough to melt. Oh, you can see them falling in there. There's a big crack right there though, so I don't know if it'll go all the way through or what. But I'm just going to continue feeding some cans in there. I just checked the charcoal and it's still doing alright. Once it gets lower, I'll throw some more in. Well, it's been running a while. I've just been feeding cans in slowly and decided to throw a few pieces of coal in it. And it's definitely going more now. They're about 1 inch cubes or so. I put like maybe 6 of them on the close side of the chamber there. So definitely wearing my PPE because I don't know if that concrete could explode. But hopefully not. Alright, well, it's been going for a while. I've probably put, I don't know, 100 cans maybe, 150, somewhere in there. But I haven't done cans much, but it's like they're 50% dross. Like I just been scooping out tons of it thinking maybe it wasn't melted. I just kept doing that, and then what was left was actually liquid. So I'm gonna open it up, clean the rest of that little bit of dross off. I've been heating that pan up, and we'll see what we get. Well, that's what I got. I'm gonna keep messing with it, but as far as whether it works or not, yes. Whether I can work it or not, that's yet to be seen. But it's a fun build. Thanks for watching. Till next time. Well, I ended up doing another melting, and I filled the crucible basically up all the way up with molten aluminum, and then this is what I got out of it. It's about 3/4 of an inch thick. The stuff left in the crucible just came right out, so that's nice. And then here's the dross off of that. So I'd say at least 50% of it. There is some aluminum still there, but that's what came out of it. And it took, this bag was full when I started, used about 3/4 of it. So I'd call it success. Thanks for watching. Till next time.